Please welcome President Mack Trucks and Executive Vice President Volvo Group, Stephen Roy.
All right. Now, if you don't get goosebumps with that video, something's wrong with you. That is incredible, and we're so glad to have Mike Rowe narrate that video. So thank you for joining us in celebrating 125 years of driving customers forward. Today, Mack is launching a new generation of iron and silicon, designed to disrupt the status quos in ways that will help you build the legacy of your success. Because as you know, disruption has always been a part of Mack's legacy. Take a look and you'll see what I mean.
Let's take a moment to step back in time. Imagine it's 1900. You see crowds gathered in Prospect Park, about a 40-minute carriage ride from the Brooklyn Navy Yard. Suddenly, there's a loud mechanical noise, and a machine unlike anything you've ever seen rolls by, packed with people. And on the side, it says, Mack Brothers. It's surprising to see because there are maybe 3,000 or 4,000 of these automobiles in the entire country. Do you think anyone in the park is thinking, that passenger belt is about to disrupt an entire transportation industry? Or, that thing is going to put 21 million horses out of business? I'll tell you who's thinking that. The Mack Brothers.
You know, Mark Twain said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And for the Mack Brothers, that translates to either you disrupt or you get disrupted. And while we live in a world of nonstop disruption, it's good to know some things never change. Like, what can you expect from a Mack truck? Quality that's durable and reliable. Ingenuity that puts cutting-edge services and solutions at your fingertips. 125 years of manufacturing, engineering know-how, and a community that can't be beat. I mean, look around. We have dealers, drivers, customers, workers, fans. Honest, reliable, real, optimistic people driven to be the best. And the Mack community reaches far beyond this room. You know, Mack is proud to have both deep American roots, but also a broad global reach. And we have to look no further than this room for that proof. You know, we are fortunate to have some of our closest partners with us today. And I want to start and recognize a few of my colleagues from Volvo. And as I do this, if you would please stand up. First, Martin Lundstedt, our President, Chief Executive Officer of the Volvo Group, who will be up shortly. Thank you. Jens Holtinger, our Executive Vice President of Group Truck Operations. Jens. Marcio Pedroso, the President of Volvo Financial Services. Thank you, Marcio. And Helena Landsbergson, Head of the President's and CEO Office. Thank you, Helena. You know, I also want to recognize our production team at our LVO plant in Allentown, Pennsylvania, who absolutely turned this dream into reality. And of course, our partners from United Auto Workers Union that are here today. And so again, as I call your name, please stand up. Starting with David Durgan, President of Mack Council and Chairman of UAW Local 677. Thank you, David. Timothy Herzog, Shop Chair, UAW Local 677 at LVO. We also have Scott Wolf, President, UAW Local 677 LVO as well. Scott. And from Hagerstown, Robert Keller, President of UAW Local 171. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. And also here with us today, and a special thanks to New York State Commissioner of Transportation, Marie-Therese Dominguez. Thank you so much for being here and your staff. And we're all here and together in Brooklyn where it all started. 125 years after Mack Brothers disrupted the world with their trucks, we find ourselves in a time where it feels like disruption is happening everywhere. So what did disruption look like for all of us in the long haul and regional haul trucking? Well, it looks like a rapidly changing workforce, supply challenges, and an unpredictable regulatory dynamics going on in today's market. The advent of autonomous driving, automation, and robotics, and a global rush to invest in advanced engineering, drivetrain technologies, and a range of alternative fuels. So why today am I talking about disruption at a truck launch? Well, because we're taking our cues from the guys, Jack and Gus Mack. We're launching more than just an amazing truck. This is the platform with the potential to disrupt in ways that give you a competitive advantage. You see, disruption happens when everybody is looking at the same problem, but one person sees it from a whole new perspective, revealing an unmet demand and sparking a breakthrough solution. So I want to give you a couple examples of what I mean, and I'm going to start with Uber. Right, here's a company that owns 0 cars, yet it has the most valuable startup in history. You know, Uber saw an unsolved need and met it. They learned how to connect people with the ride, with the person that has the car, and that created peer-to-peer ride sharing. And the question is, how did we not see this? I mean, it was right in front of us. And you think disrupting the entire taxi limousine industry would be the end to the story, and that's not the case. Uber saw more than a better way to get you to the airport and back. You know, looking at Uber from another perspective, you can say where the bigger potential was around gathering data on your platform. Data about your vehicles, your roads, drivers, passengers, and even the weather. And by leveraging and monetizing this data, Uber built a future-proof platform for new businesses. Autonomous driving, corporate travel, event logistics, and even getting non-emergency patients to medical appointments. Now, this is my favorite. I love to talk about baseball, and I mean real baseball. And some think the star of the movie Moneyball was about that Brad Pitt guy. It wasn't. It was about statistical analytics. Coach Billy Beane's job was really to move the Oakland A's from 0 to hero. Of course, with a fraction of the budget the Yankees and the Dodgers had. But how did he do it? That was the big disruption. You see, baseball scouts use conventional wisdom and hunches to choose the best players who were quickly bought up by those deep pocket teams. They filled their rosters with marquee players. Now, cash poor Billy Beane saw it differently. He used statistical analytics to build a team of undervalued and overlooked players, but with a high probability of winning. 3 straight playoffs later, without changing one rule in baseball, Billy Beane made it to a whole nother level and a whole nother ball game. And lastly, I want to talk about Apple Watch, right? Believe it or not, people have been wearing watches for over 500 years. So why would the people who make the iMac and the iPhone suddenly care about Rolex? Well, here's the big disruption. They never thought it was a watch. They always knew this was a wearable computer. It monitors your heart rate, your blood oxygen, and your sleep cycles. You've seen this ad. This thing literally saves lives. And while it's a platform for personal growth, it's more disruptive than that. It's also a platform for business growth. Apple Pay, Music and Fitness Plus, and thousands of third-party apps like Spotify, Calm, and Strava. Not to mention Mac Route Recorder and Mac Assist. So again, Apple saw it from a different perspective. And while everyday watches tell you about time, well, the Apple Watch tells you about you. And again, here's why I'm telling you this now while we're here gathered in Brooklyn, right? I believe it's the most efficient, as we talk about our truck, I believe it's the most efficient, comfortable, safest connected Mack truck in history. And we really see this as more than a truck. We see this as a platform with the potential to go beyond and transform your business. A competitive advantage on wheels. And now I want to shift your perspective and let you see the disruptive power of it too. You know, if Uber can connect the right passenger with the right driver at the right time, at the right rate, you bet we are working on solutions that will connect your data to, say, empower load optimization, connecting the right load on the right route in the right state, not to mention the best bid. You know, it's more than a truck. It's a data center on wheels, and you on the data. And if the Oakland Athletics can use data to disrupt America's national pastime, you better believe Mack can upgrade America's best over-the-air software using AI. Imagine software updates that know which of your 30 ECUs to upgrade, when, and in what order, all happening remotely during breaks and downtime. So why settle for just regularly scheduled maintenance stops when you can let your truck's 30 computer brains do the heavy lifting? And if Apple Watch can monitor your physical awareness and lifestyle, then you better believe Mack can help you monitor your well-being of your drivers, how they're performing, how they're operating, and when they need time off. And the fitness of your fleet too, with uptime and predictive maintenance. Okay, it's 2025. Disruption is the new norm. But we're the descendants of Jack and Gus, and disruption is in our DNA. And what we've learned in 125 years' time is that the best way to future-proof against disruption is to be the disruptor. Which brings me back to the truck you're going to see here today. You know, beyond being the best fuel economy of any OEM long-haul truck and having the best ride and drive with classic comfort and interior, and the best advanced safety systems from chassis to cab, and the best connectivity that you can get, what you're going to see is more than a truck. It's an asset. It's a competitive advantage. It's a platform to help you build your legacy of success. Because Mack's legacy of success has been, for 125 years, helping you to drive your legacy of success. And now to talk about the infrastructure of support and partnership we've got to deliver on this promise, please welcome the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Volvo Group, and also my boss, Martin Lundstedt. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Mack lovers, are you ready? Are we ready? But I have to say, Stephen, you're a passionate Mack lover. And I'm actually between the two of them here, so I will be rather brief. But I have to start by saying it's just a great honor to be here. And you're also right that our success as an organization and as an industry depend so heavily on partnership. And I go far, but I mean it, as you know, when I say friendships. That is what has built our close relations over the time. And in this introduction, I also got a special piece that was kept for me. And that was also the introduction of our ambassador to United States from Sweden, Mr. Urban Ahlin, and his wife, Jenny Ahlin. So please stand up also and give a big hand of welcome. Friends, this is a defining moment for Mack. No, maybe it's even more, it's a redefining moment. Because sometimes all people see is your legacy. But while legacy is important, especially one as incredible as Mack's, it doesn't determine our or your future. Instead, those achievements and experiences serve as stepping stones to what's next. So today is an opportunity to define the new future for Mack, while at the same time staying true to what it means to be built like a Mack truck. What is that? It's great. And the Volvo Group is fully committed to and massively investing in Mack's future. We are so proud of being part of that incredible journey that started 125 years ago. And that is our joint future. You heard Stephen, this new Mack truck will be an industry disruptor. And it's part of an investment that tops $2 billion US, the largest product program investments in our group's history worldwide. And I don't absolutely not want to steal JR's thunder here, but I can tell you that while it's a group investment for sure, the truck is a 100% Mack. Designed here in US, engineered here in the United States, it will be produced here and to deliver everything Mack's customers expect and more. When you see the truck, thank you. When you see the truck tonight, you will understand that it's going to mean also more demand. So to all of us that have that responsibility, we need to take and grab that, not only from existing customers, but from a whole new segment of the market that we haven't addressed until now, or at least for many, many years. So more orders, more volume. We all know that there have been challenges meeting demand in the recent years, which is why we haven't just invested in the truck. We have continued to make substantial investments in our North American industrial and supply footprint to ensure that we can dramatically increase output. If you haven't been at our Lehigh Valley operations in Pennsylvania, the plant there in a few years, you need to visit and see the changes. It is massive. We have invested more than $175 million in LVO, not just to prepare for this launch, but for other exciting products that we have in the pipeline. In the pipeline. LVO is and will continue to be our flagship US plant, and the team there is fully prepared, fully excited to launch the truck you'll see tonight. And of course, by the end of next year, we will start ramping up also production at our new plant in Monterey, ensuring Mack has all the capacity it needs to grow in markets across both North and South America. Meeting demands also mean having a strong, flexible, and resilient supply chain. I can tell you that the product program behind this new truck is bringing on board world-class new suppliers, and not at least here in the United States. And our supplier network in this region continues to strengthen. And that, I think, is also important for the future. We are committed to having all the pieces in place to boost Mack's share. Last year, friends, we invested $40 million to acquire CVG's cab production facility in Cab Mountains, North Carolina. And we are already seeing significant improvements in our total production system because of that industrial footprint expansion. That is very important to us, and thanks for the leadership that our industrial colleagues is bringing in that regard. Everything I've said thus far has been about our heavy-duty lineup. But on top of that, there is another lineup that is very close to my heart. I was actually part with some smart and innovative guys here in North America quite some years ago, sitting, I have to admit, in the bar quite late at night and doing some back-on-the-envelope calculations. And that became the Mack medium duty that all of us have embraced and that we will continue to embrace because that is a very important part of our product range these days. But we have also now expanded our Roanoke Valley operations in Virginia. Last year, 72,000 more square feet, providing the additional production capacity we need for the new medium duty, Mack medium duty and the medium duty electric as well. As you can understand, I know that you want to see more here. I don't have time here to talk about all other steps we are taking. For example, that we are now expanding our parts distribution network, just opening a big and very important complementary store in Texas, and we are looking for new frontiers, obviously, to be close to you, to being close to our customers, and continue to expand. And of course, we are talking about an incredible, strong brand here, together with all of you. There are so many dealer partners that I met tonight, that I've met in so many different occasions that have been around for decades. Really supporting the brand, continue to invest, handing it over to the next generation, taking the responsibility. Thank you for that effort. We really love that, and we will do it together. And of course, also our Mack customers. Some of you are here tonight, and we really love to cherish with you also what we have in front of us. And of course, I just said that we have invested billions of dollars to ensure that we have a holistic program in place to drive Mack's growth now. And I think by the end of tonight, it will be very clear to everyone that we are not just talking about growing Mack's market share to 10% by 2030, and I think even beyond 10%, of course, if I know you right. We are talking action, we are talking execution. We have built the pillars. I remember we took the decision of this program 2016. I thought it was, eternity to the launch. And tonight we're here. At the group, our mission is to drive prosperity through transport and infrastructure solutions, to shape the world we want to live in. That is what we all do in our professions. We are moving the world, we are building the world, we are driving prosperity for us and for coming generations. And as Steven said earlier, that's what Mack Trucks has been doing for 125 years. Think about it. This great nation has an upcoming celebration of 250 years, and Mack Trucks have been around for half of that time. Isn't that just amazing? That is how Mack became an American icon now, gearing up for the future. And it's why we are so proud to have Mack as part of our portfolio. A strong standalone company operating in the group, and why we are also so committed to ensuring that this iconic brand, with all the great people, incredible trucks you're about to see, are successful for the long haul. Again, friends, this is a redefining moment for Mack Trucks. And I can assure you that after 125 years, Mack's best days are still ahead. So I've got you closer to today's destination. But before that, I just have to say two things more. Number one, I was at CES earlier this year in Vegas. We were proud of being part of that show, talking about innovation and the future. We were 4 companies on center stage during that week, and one of the other companies was Delta. And they said, Delta 100 years, still fly. What we can say, Mack Trucks 125 years, still drive. And I love that, guys. And the second thing I would like to say is to quoting one of my predecessors back in the 60s, and I think that goes for Mack even stronger. He said, I take my hat off for everything that has been achieved, but I take my jacket off and roll up the sleeves for the future. Let's do that together. And who can do that better? Introducing the president of Mack Trucks North America, the man, the music, the magic, the one and only, Jonathan Randall.
Thanks. Oh, dude, I was going to wipe out. We are so close. So close, but not quite yet. Thank you, Martin. I bet you didn't know that 1900, the year Mack was born in Brooklyn, by the way, 3 short miles away, 3rd Ave and 22nd Street, was the same year that America was officially settled. From Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon. No more frontier, is what they said. Well, as our many friends in Brooklyn like to say, forget about it. There's always a new frontier, and Mack is always there to lead the way. That includes the long haul segment, which we've been doing for nearly a century. In 1932, a Mack bus hauled it from New York to California in record time. In the 60s, Beatles got to drive my car, but we got to drive the B61. Beep, beep, and beep, beep, yeah. For 30 years, Mack rolled out the RW Superliners, the Value Liners, and the Star Convoy, the RL 700. And today, we're covering miles with the Mack Pinnacle and the Mack Anthem, consistently raising the standard. And we didn't bring you all the way to Brooklyn for just any truck. We're here now, where it all began, to take on the next frontier with an all-new truck, modern, smart, purpose-built for today's toughest challenges, for your toughest challenges. We're here to launch the new standard in efficiency, in comfort, in safety, and in uptime. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the all-new Mack Pioneer. Taking that beauty. All due respect to anything before it, but that is the best unboxing ever, if that's still a thing. Pioneer is the new standard, designed with every detail in mind, every shining inch of it, from the recessed bulldog that reduces wind drag to the bold three-piece hood that says, built like a Mack truck. But putting up pictures is great, but instead, why don't we take this baby for a spin? Who does not want to walk up to this ride as their ride? Everything thought of, the offset steps to get into it, three-point of security, climbing into the roomy cab. This might be too much, but that right there, that's Mack quality. Okay, let's start this baby up. Driven by trailblazers, Pioneer is ready to lead the way forward. So let's do that. As we hit the road, let me ask you, what's top of mind these days? You might say shipping rates, putting a squeeze on everybody's margins, or government regulations, among other things. And you're not wrong. But we know what's driving business today. We know what's most important. And it's the drivers. It's always the drivers. It's harder to find them, and it's harder to keep them. To get and keep the good ones, it helps to have the best truck in the industry. And you're looking at it, the Mack Pioneer, which redefines uptime, safety, comfort, and it goes without saying, efficiency. So let's start with aerodynamics.
Efficiency that's miles ahead starts with aerodynamics that defy the wind.
I think first, the design. It's really a great, bold design, pays tribute to the 125th anniversary, but also very forward-leaning in terms of the aerodynamics and efficiency.
Every surface, every interface was optimized for aero to make sure that the air flowed the way it needed to give us the aero targets, and we overachieved on our aero targets. We went above and beyond, and that was our main goal in the beginning. We stated here in the design, we're going to go above the project requires because we know we can do it.
The new aero options include the inset bulldog to reduce wind drag, the wraparound windshield, front and rear wheel closeouts, roof deflectors, chassis fairings that cover the tanks and smooth airflow, and more. And in the near future, add another 1% fuel efficiency thanks to the new digital mirror system. The tech's already in place, ready to go when we get the green light.
And what a way to pay a homage to our heritage by actually taking the Brooklyn Bridge and the top view of that bridge and putting it on the grill.
The truck is an all-new truck, so designing a truck from the ground up, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
First time when they see it, I want them to say wow and maybe even stop in their tracks.
A century after we invented the integrated powertrain, we're still optimizing performance with more power, more fuel efficiency.
And then we've also upgraded our market-leading 13-liter engine with a more efficient design to help with that efficiency gain as well.
Delivering 395 to 515 horsepower and 1,550 to 1,950 pound-feet of torque, the MP13 is available in a variety of ratings to power any haul. It features a new wave piston design and other combustion improvements that make it 4% more fuel efficient than the MP8 engine.
So everything we do starts with what the customer needs. That's how the whole project really gets going. It's not always what they need right then, but what they might need down the road. And then we use that to pick hardware, shape torque curves, make sure we have the right rear axle ratios, the right number of gears in the transmission, and put all those packages together.
The M-Drive transmission employs enhanced electronics to improve gear shifting performance. And a redesigned clutch features a new disc, clutch housing, and dampening control system for enhanced durability.
So you might think that a truck on the road, it just needs all of its torque all the time, but most trucks, especially long haul, will run mid-load, low engine speed, so we can optimize the hardware to give the best fuel economy in that sweet spot where the driver is driving the most.
Unbelievable power, unprecedented fuel economy. Pioneer adds it all up, breaks new barriers, delivering 11% greater fuel efficiency than the Mack Anthem.
Efficiency like this, it's built in from the very beginning. It's not bolted on. And for our friends in California and other states, we will have a fully compliant engine with the new truck. For the driver, Pioneer really is a home away from home. Cab space that's above and beyond, and configurations that do not compromise. Let me pull over and let's have a look. Let's take a look at what we got going on back here. Wow. I mean, come on. Just look at this cab. I can stand in the driving area. I can stand in the sleeper. This is cab comfort that is literally above and beyond.
Cabin comfort that raises the benchmark with cab configurations that don't compromise.
We think we've designed a market-leading comfort in terms of the layout and design and all the sleeper options and the flex suite and all the different configurations that you can have inside the sleeper.
The new cabin is 5 inches wider than Mack Anthem, and that means more room for standard wide-base seats. Pioneer seating keeps drivers refreshed on long hauls and offers options for heating, cooling, and massage.
We did mock-ups, we did clinics, we built entire simulators of the cockpit where we could run different softwares and hardware and make sure that we really got the productivity and the driver environment that we were really after.
Being all new, we really drape-formed the control panel, the instrument panel around the driver for optimizing reachability and the ergonomics of it.
In terms of the driver cockpit, we've equipped the new vehicle with a fully digital instrument cluster, and this allows us to really give the right information at the right moment to the driver wherever he is. We have a new infotainment platform with a lot of new apps and more to come on that.
The ergonomics we're getting great reviews on. Everything we've done for a driver-centric layout has really been on point.
Stock-located M-Drive controls allow for smooth gear changes without taking hands off the wheel. And that flat-bottom steering wheel gives you more room where it counts and easy access to infotainment and cruise control.
It's going to be probably one of the most driver-centric truck that's going to be out there, which makes it probably the 2 best reasons why somebody will buy this to use it in a long-haul operation.
Now, add in innovative options like the Flex Suite workstation with the flip-up table and Murphy bed, and the integrated electric parking cooler that idles at night and starts the engine if the battery gets low. And you know we're serious about cabin comfort that raises the benchmark.
Comfort when you're kicking back is key, but you also want comfort when you're behind the wheel during a long 10-hour day. You deserve the smoothest ride possible.
Comfort comes from the confidence you get with a smooth, sure ride. You're going to want to meet the new MaxRide Air suspension. It uses 8 electronically tuned airbags to provide the most stable and best ride ever on a Mack truck.
You're going to feel less motion in certain directions. So we're looking at smooth takeoffs, smooth riding on bridges and over expansion joints.
For long-haul drivers, it is really critical, and they really have to be comfortable or less fatigued inside the cab, to be safe inside the cab, and for others also needs to be safe on the road. The fleet managers, they will find one of the most durable cab and engine suspension system on this truck.
The specs you need for your hauling, the comfort your drivers need to feel safe and at home.
Everything around me, everything about this cab is 100% Mack DNA, fit to finish. And it gives you the kind of comfortable drive that drives confidence. And speaking of driving, it's time to get back in the driver's seat and make sure that I deliver this load on time.
Our livelihood depends on getting the goods where they gotta go, whatever the weather. Of course, can't forget my seatbelt. Speaking of which, Mack and safety are, what the? Good Lord, I did not see him coming. But of course, the Mack Pioneer did. Mack and safety have a long history, and this new product sets a new standard.
Safety that looks ahead, beyond, and behind. Starting with the new Mack Protect Safety Suite. Combining radars and cameras to detect potential hazards, Mack Protect provides alerts to the driver, and if necessary, it intervenes with braking, engine control, and even corrective steering to help avoid collisions.
The use of electronics in a heavy vehicle and the increase of that is really exciting because there are a lot more ECUs, more electronics that can sense and control things. I'm excited about the potential for collision safety coming more integrated with active safety.
If you're going to make a right turn and someone's on the sidewalk walking, it can see that person moving and know, based off their rate of speed, whether or not you're going to have a collision, and the system can interact and give the driver a warning or stop the truck.
When equipped with Command Steer, Lane Keep Assist nudges you back into your lane. First with the steering wheel, then, if needed, a vibration, then a warning light or sound. And here's an industry first in North America. Lane change support, available on the passenger side or both. If you drift or cross a lane without an active turn signal, departure warning keeps you on the straight and narrow. Pioneer also redefines long-haul safety with advanced collision mitigation technology and durable construction. Our new fully welded, high-strength steel cab is built for long-term durability and crash protection. Rollover support automatically shuts down the engine, unlocks the doors, and turns on interior lights to help vehicle occupants safely exit the vehicle. And in case you didn't know, Mack is one of the first heavy-duty OEMs to offer automated eCall 911 emergency services.
We're giving a very specific latitude, longitude, location of where it is, and a little bit more information of what happened on the truck. This has never been done.
New Mack safety features keep drivers protected mile after mile.
Here is more than a truck. It's your competitive advantage. Loaded with Mack integrated uptime, Pioneer gives you the data you need to make better decisions faster. Right now with real-time tracking, or looking into the future with predictive maintenance. And at the heart of this high-tech network are unbeatable Mack dealers. Integrated uptime and a comprehensive dealer network that ensures you get it fixed right the first time, get it fixed anywhere, and get it fixed fast.
Pioneer is the most connected vehicle out there, period.
The telematics data that's coming off the trucks is huge, and the ability to understand what it means not only to how the truck is performing, but also how that performance can help improve operations is critical.
You can optimize Pioneer with a suite of smart tools and technologies we call Mack Integrated Uptime. And your window into it? Mack Connect, a unified dashboard that simplifies operations because that drives profitability. Track your truck's history and optimize future routes in real time. Check parameters and fault codes to get your vehicle back on the job quickly.
With the all-new Mack, you're going to have the ability to do over 30 control modules over the air. You might think, why do I need to worry about control modules over the air? But for a long-haul driver and for a long-haul operation, it's really important to keep those tires rolling.
30 ECUs mean more compute power for safety systems, powertrain management, and overall connectivity. And our OTA software uses AI to get the right upgrades to the right ECUs in the right order.
Next time you stop for your overnight, your rest break, just turn the truck on, hit the update buttons on the dashboard, and go.
Integrated Uptime also includes Guard Dog Connect. Automatically connect your truck to the right support solution and service scheduling while you're still on the road. Get 24/7 full service support from a network of experts with one call. And fleet managers and service providers can work together in real time to speed up repairs with Mack Assist.
So we're using AI to bring all this data, new data we're bringing back from the new platform, and using it to start predicting or seeing signs of issues and failures so that we can actually take action before the component fails.
And now, the most connected Mack ever puts more power in the hands of your drivers. Introducing My Mack.
Drivers have the capability to turn on the climate when they're not in the truck, turn on the heat when it's a cold day.
You're going to be able to unlock your doors from the app right there.
They can also start their pre-trip inspection remotely. They can see their fuel levels, they can see if any lights are out that can be detected electronically.
All that and more with the My Mack app. Mack Uptime integrates more than software and services. It connects people to people. With nearly 400 authorized dealers and parts and service locations coast to coast, and nearly 1,400 master technicians, you get support whenever, wherever.
And here we are, back in Brooklyn, where it all began. What an unbelievable ride. What amazing comfort. And an incredibly badass looking package. We've covered a lot of ground in a short time. And as I said in the beginning, and I think we've made it pretty clear, Pioneer is the new standard in efficiency, comfort, safety, and uptime. Like Steven said, this is more than a truck. It's an intelligent platform combining a network of integrated technologies and a network of dedicated dealers here in this room designed to grow your business. For 125 years, we have been proud to say our trucks are built like a Mack. And Pioneer is no different. It's a Mack truck built for the future. And if you're in the highway, sleeper, and day cab segment, Pioneer is the new standard. And the fantastic news is that we'll start building these in a couple months. But the order board is open tonight. With that, I'd like to bring my colleagues back on stage. Martin, Steven, if you could please join me. Worth the wait. Totally worth the wait. Steven, thank you.
Well, JR, you look pretty refreshed for a guy who's just hauled 1,000+ people coast to coast.
Forget about it. Unbelievable comfort, unbelievable ride, best cab ever.
I think now when I've seen it and I've heard your comments, I might have to trade in my XC90 for a truck like that, right? And I think that everyone here can see that Pioneer is going to shift how you think about long haul.
There's a pause there. There's a but there.
No. I mean, there is absolutely clear. I mean, Pioneer and freight, right? But
there's the but. There's the
no. But I mean, we have so many guys loving the current anthem. What's about them?
We love our anthems too. Steven, anything?
Well, look, we are so revved up and ready to show you the next generation of anthem, but not today.
No. Because today is all about the Pioneer.
But next gen anthem is coming, and you will be first to know.
Martin, anything else we're missing?
I think you have been pretty exhaustive about it and pretty passionate about it as well. But you know that I'm always also pushing all of you for new innovation, new technology, not at least when it comes to the transformation, the energy transformation as one example. What about electric these days?
Well, is there something to say about that? Yes and no. Big news, good news, coming soon news, but not today.
Okay, we have to wait here.
Well, you all should know the early feedback for Pioneer has been off the charts. This is a premium product. This is a flagship, but most of all, it's an industry disruptor, bringing you a new vision for the future.
What you've seen here is just the beginning of the next era of Mack innovation.
And JR, this is just the beginning of an amazing evening here in Brooklyn.
I invite everybody to turn around. Seriously,
turn around.
Turn around.
Look
turn
back.
around.
All right, there are more Pioneers to circle your wagons around at the back of the room, as well as the two up here.
We've also got a team of dedicated Mack experts to answer questions about trim, Mack Academy, service and solutions, and of course, there is special Mack Pioneer merch, only available at the Mack store, including the one here.
So here we stand, dear friends, celebrating the past and owning the future. We are proud to be sharing this very, very special moment with all of you. So from Steven and from JR, enjoy the Big Apple, enjoy the night, enjoy the ride, enjoy the Pioneer. Let's party!
Fantastic, fantastic.